It seems like the public isn't the only ones ready for the ABK deal to be over. It seems that the impatientness has spread to the Activision executives, especially Mr. Bobby Kotick. He recently released a statement to the team members over at Activision on the Activision Substack, which happens to be a website for fans of Activision and employees to stay informed on current events over at Activision, Blizzard, and King. And he made sure that that statement was made public for the entire world to see. A March update on the Microsoft deal from Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, dated March 28th. We remain confident that the transaction will ultimately be approved. During these hearings, Microsoft proposed thoughtful, generous remedies to address regulators' concerns and made additional announcements reinforcing their pledge to bring more games to more players around the world. Our proposed merger will help us compete in the increasingly competitive marketplace that includes rapidly growing foreign powerful companies that enjoy protection in their home markets and access to strong talent pools. We all know our passionate players would be the first to hold Microsoft accountable for keeping its promise of content and quality parity. And all of us who work so hard to deliver the best games in our industry care too deeply about our players to ever launch subpar versions of our games. Sony has even admitted that they aren't actually concerned about a Call of Duty agreement. They would just like to prevent our merger from happening. This is obviously disappointing behavior from a partner for almost 30 years. But we will not allow Sony's behavior to affect our long-term relationship. PlayStation players know we will continue to deliver the best games possible on Sony platforms as we have since the launch of PlayStation. Well, Bobby Kotick obviously is very optimistic about the deal. He is definitely wanting to keep Activision Blizzard King very competitive in the growing market of gaming, especially with new competitors arising every day. And he is very disappointed that Sony, a partner of his for over 30 years, has decided to throw a monkey wrench in the situation, which has caused the Activision Blizzard deal to see a lot of grief from regulators and potentially cost Activision a lot of money, especially with how Bobby Kotick loves money. I don't agree with how he has handled Activision and the way he treats people, and we all know that man has a lot of money, and if you're going to screw with his money, he's probably not going to really appreciate that. So I really don't see how the executives over at Sony thought that Bobby Kotick or any of the other executives at Activision were just going to be excited about the things that Sony was trying to pull. And actually about a month ago, on around February 10th, in an article on Push Square, they covered an interview that was done with the Financial Times, where Bobby Kotick stated that Sony's entire leadership team stopped talking to anyone at Microsoft, and that he thinks that this is all Sony just trying to sabotage the transaction. Bobby Kotick goes on to say, the whole idea that we are not going to support a PlayStation or that Microsoft will not support the PlayStation, it is absurd. And again, he was very confident that the acquisition will go ahead, having hired Beth Wilkinson, a lawyer contracted by the Federal Trade Commission to lead a probe into Google back in 2012. Bobby Kotick says that if Wilson feels like she is going to have to litigate against the FTC, she will absolutely crush them. So Bobby Kotick has definitely a very invested interest in this deal going through, because again, it lines his pockets with a lot of money. And I really wonder what the future is going to be holding for Sony now that they have decided to really kind of rub their 30-year relationship with Activision the wrong way. To be honest, we saw the statement that Bobby Kotick made saying that they will not allow Sony PlayStation's actions to affect their relationship. But let's be absolutely honest. Can we really see any marketing deals that would be afforded to Sony even if the deal doesn't go through? Do we think that by some chance Activision will be providing all this great exclusive content to help strengthen Sony's position in the gaming industry? There is a lot of things that remain unclear at this point on exactly how strained that relationship really is internally. Publicly, I'm sure that they're going to make sure that relationship looks as sound as possible, but behind the scenes, it's anybody's guess on what really is going to happen now that Sony has screamed and cried as loud as they have during this whole regulatory process between all the regulatory groups in the world. For more content like this, please stay tuned to this channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to see more of it. Feel free to check out other past videos like the ones that will show up on the ending card of this video. I am Centurion1307. I appreciate everybody's support for these videos and tuning in, whether you have been critical or positive about these videos. I still appreciate you taking the time out of your busy days to watch them. And as always, everybody, please remember to always enjoy the games you love on the platforms you prefer, no matter what anybody says. Thank you for watching and have a great day.